If you write romance novels or romance poems, this video is just for you. Let's get into it. Hello, welcome to my channel. It is February, so it's Valentine's month and Black History Month. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I am so excited to do the first segment of inspiration in this YouTube channel. And also, if you're looking at like what I'm holding, let me see if I can show you guys without messing up. This is a prop for another video. In the spirit of Valentine's Day, I am in pink, and this is a Cupid's arrow. You guys will see eventually, but today we will be doing different readings and talking about inspiration full of love, because it's Valentine's month and it's the most loveliest time of the year. Today is actually going to be super relaxed. I'm not necessarily going to give techniques, but I am going to go through 3 poems and talk about just what I liked about them and why the romance really works in them. I really just wanted to look at how these poets and writers talked about romance, and I'm really excited to share one poem specifically. But before that, I just want to introduce myself a little bit for anyone who's new here. My name is Shadi. I am a Black girl in Japan, Black novelist in Japan, and I'm here to give you writing techniques and a little extra on the side with some mental health stuff, some stuff for community, and blah, 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 blah. I could rattle on for days, but I'm trying to be more succinct. But anyways, you can pick your poison and watch along, or just use me as background noise. Either is okay. I hope my voice is soothing enough for you. Subscribe to my OnlyFans, which I don't have, because alright, I gotta stop making that joke, but yeah, you can check out my previous video, which should be here, on routine. It was on routine. I remembered. Okay. And yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get into it. I have to give a disclaimer. While I have not been in love technically before, I am a romance novelist to my core and always have been for over the last 10 years. So, you know, I don't know love necessarily, but I have written it, and you know how you just get so immersed in the characters? I felt it. I know what it feels like to be in love, because that's the kind of love I give to my characters. And why'd I look at you? You're not one of my characters. But I just thought I would give that disclaimer, because I don't want to be like, well, why are you even talking about this? No, I felt love. Thank you very much. I have felt the feeling of giving it from my characters and also receiving it on the other end. So I know what I'm talking about. Just hear me out. But let's go ahead and get into the poems. I will put it up somewhere on the screen. I think I always do this side. So let's go from here. Before we go into the poems and one of my favorites, I do want to say, if you have a favorite lovely poem or any poem in general, feel free to comment it down below. I am more than happy to read it and help to spread the love, so feel free to send it. But for now, let's talk about the poem Because She Would Ask Me Why I Loved Her by Christopher Brennan, I think is his name. Let me check. Okay, I don't have his name written right there, but the poem is called Because She Would Ask Why I Loved Her. I'm just going to start off by saying this poem is so beautiful, and it really just puts you in the setting of, you know, when you're in love, I think especially as a female, even though I haven't been in love, I know the feeling of liking someone and being like, well, why do you like me? I'm a bit confused. Like, why do you feel what you feel for me? So this poem just talks about that, and let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to put it, I think, on this side. Sorry, Tiana. Sorry, girl. Let's go ahead and start our read of Because She Would Ask Me Why I Loved Her. If questioning would make us wise, no eyes would ever gaze in eyes. If all our tale were told in speech, no mouse would wonder each to each. Were spirits free from mortal mesh, and love not bound in hearts of flesh, no aching breasts would yearn to meet and find their ecstasy complete. For who is there that lives and knows the secret powers by which he grows? Were knowledge all, what were our need to thrill and faint and sweetly bleed? Then seek not, sweet, the if and why. I love you now until I die. For I must love because I live, And life in me is what you give. Was that not so beautiful? Like, if a guy ever said this to me, I would swoon and my knees would go weak. I am a die-hard romantic. I freaking love poems like this. So there were just a few things that I wanted to comment about this before we go into the next one. One thing I loved is that you can just very easily visualize the scene of what she's feeling, what he's saying, and how he doesn't say it directly, and it's very not showy about how he expresses his love, but he expresses it so clearly in just how he speaks to her and explains basically that you don't necessarily need a reason to love her, just this is just what it is. There's no dramatization, there's nothing exaggerated, it's just a very clear, matter-of-fact declaration of why he loves her. And personally, I think that kind of response and that kind of answer in this poem, because it's not so bam, like in your face, because it's like that, it feels more authentic and realistic. So I think that's one of the reasons I like it. I really prefer reading things that have plausibility, can actually happen. I don't know, just something like that. But yeah, what did you think of that poem? I think another reason that I really do enjoy this poem is just that, again, of course, it's not so showy, but also a lot of times, especially when you watch romance movies, the idea is that, oh, it has to be this big, dramatic, exaggerated kind of love confession, but sometimes the most quiet ones with restraint are the better ones, I think. I'm someone who wants both. It depends on the partner. When that happens, kami-sama, whenever that happens. But you know, having that kind of restraint, especially in a poem like this where it's more subtle, is just very, very, very beautiful. A lot of the times readers don't go this route. They go a different way where it has to be big and bold, but sometimes the lovely things are not as bold. Additionally, notice how, let me scroll back up on my laptop. He doesn't really define her physical appearance or anything like that. It's just very matter of fact of more feeling, more emotion based. You don't get anything of the outside. It's all inside, which is also something I like, because beauty in the inside is very beautiful. I don't have the words to describe that, but you know what I mean. Anyways. Just when she asked why, I like that his answer is kind of indirect in a way, in a very beautiful way. But let's go ahead and move on to the next poem. I think the last point I'm going to say on that is just that I think that this specific author, Christopher Brennan, I hope I'm saying his name right and that I have the right name. A lot of his poems are like this. They're very beautiful, they're very indirect, but you get the meaning of it and you get swept up in the emotion. He trusts the reader to catch what he's throwing, and I personally feel like just given how subtle it is, the reader can catch it every time. Let's go ahead and go to poem number 2. This is actually a poem that a Reddit user sent in to me, and I thought it was so beautiful. I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is from, I'm pretty sure, Infinite Ear. I don't know his real name. With Infinite Ears. Consent. I forgot the word for consent. Oh my god. With his consent, I will put his information up here on the screen somewhere, and I will also link it in the description box below, but he gave me permission to read his poem on here. So if you're watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much. I really do appreciate you for sending in your comment in the first place and for letting me say it on camera. But let's go ahead and get into it. Attractive, yes, but your soul is convincing. I smile at that fact. Not a grin, but something I can't control. You spark instead of speech. It reaches where no light should shine. Together we meet at the world's end, singing life's ballads. One string leads to another and chords find us blushing. Sit with me in this burden as we attempt the impossible. Enchanted through eyes that see objectively. I leave you untitled because description has failed me. I long for the endeavor and wait quietly by your side. I want you guys to just sit with that for a second. Why do you think I liked this poem so much? I don't know if it's still on the screen, but if it is, why do you think this specific poem was so great to me personally, or to you? I hope it was really good for you. Again, thank you, Infinite Ear. It's so funny to say that name. Thank you so much for letting me read your poem. It's very lovely. I really like that with this, again, that realistic, authentic feeling comes across in the writing. It's realistic, it's raw, it's unfiltered, and you titled it, I believe it's titled Untitled. Untitled play. It reminded me of an Untitled playlist. Do you remember, like, back in the old days? Am I showing my age? But back in the old days, everyone would make a CD. You would like burn a CD and then give it to your friend. It kind of reminded me of that. Kind of like romantic style. I don't know. But I really love the usage of music in this as someone who hardcore loves music and loves writing songs in their own lyrics. It's just very beautifully written. I think another thing that I really did enjoy about this is that, in a way, I don't know if this was the intention, this is just my interpretation, but love isn't always so beautiful. And one of the lines, oh, my arm, oh my God, that hurt. Okay, sorry, okay. One of the lines in this was, let me see if I can find it. Found it. Sit with me in this burden as we attempt the impossible. I kind of really love that. Sit with me in this burden. And I know you're probably like, that's a toxic way to describe love. Yeah, not all love is perfect and laced with a nice little bow. In fact, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone's love story being perfectly wrapped up. Sometimes it is a burden to like someone, to love someone. It's a hard feeling to sit with and hold, and I think that this poem wonderfully discusses it, where you come together, you make music together, but at the same time it's like I'm also picturing someone sitting on a bench with headphones in and they're saying, sit with me in this feeling, let's listen to their song that we're creating together. And like, I love that from both of these poems. You can just kind of get an interesting imagery and vision of everything taking place. But what do you think about this poem? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. And again, thank you so much, Infinite Ear, for letting me read your poem. It's so good. That's all I'm going to say on that poem. It's really one of those things where it's up to your own interpretation. So I'm really curious about how you guys viewed it. If you want, feel free to comment it down below. Let's move on to the third poem, La Belle Dame Sans Merci, a ballad. I'm actually surprised I made it through saying that word or that phrase correctly. I was told by a Reddit user that I definitely have to include John Keats if I'm going to be doing this kind of video. So I'm very happy to share this. I'm just gonna give a disclaimer here too. I am very sorry if I butcher any of the words. I do not know how to speak in the olden language, and that enough said. I'm probably gonna struggle a little bit, but I am very much so excited to read this poem. And I also have to say, this is a little bit of a long poem, so I cut it down and condensed it. I will link below where you can find the full poem. Please check it out. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the poem. Oh, what can ail thee, knight-at-arms, alone and palely loitering? The sage has withered from the lake, and no birds sing. I met a lady in the meads, full beautiful, a faery's child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. And there I dreamed, woo, betide! The latest dream I ever dreamed, on the cold hillside. I saw pale kings and princes too, pale warriors, death pale were they all, who cried, La Belle Dame Sans Merci hath thee in thrall. And this is why I sojourn here, alone and palely loitering, though the sage is withered from the lake, and no birds sing. What do you think? For me, the poem, I'm not gonna lie, this was a good poem. but it did go over my head a little bit. I can kind of catch the meaning, I think. I got it. It's very kind of a chance encounter, if I'm correct. Anyone can comment it down below and correct me. But I thought it was interesting that the Redditor specifically recommended this poem. I do love the imagery presented, and I do love the descriptions in it. Like the way they described each other was absolutely beautiful. But when I think about it, what do I think about it? I picture medieval times, beautiful flowing dresses, of course, kings, princesses, all that fun stuff. But I'm thinking for the love, it feels kind of dangerous. Does that make sense? It feels dangerous, daring almost, and it feels like, let me scroll back up before I say this. I met a lady in the meads, full, beautiful, a fairy's child. I love how ethereal everything sounds and feels. It feels just very magical. In saying that it feels magical, it feels almost like a dream. I don't know a better way to describe it right now, but it makes me feel like a dream, almost something very haunting. The wording choice, like pale night, I think they used. It was pale night, fairy lady. I loved it. I hope it to be called a fairy one day. This dress is kind of like a fairy. I don't know, but wording like that, and even the desolate landscape, it really paints a picture for you. And I think the imagery and wording in this specific poem was very well done to give the reader basically just an image of what they wanted to create instead of them kind of thinking of it on its own. I feel like for the first two poems, it's very much so up to interpretation of how you want to view it. But for this one, I just kind of, I immediately picture something from Disney, basically. But what do you think about it? Feel free to comment it down below. There's not much else I wanted to say about this. I just really love the kind of juxtaposition of enchantment, I should say. Enchantment, and then also the feeling of abandonment at the same time. So it's something very opposite mixed together. You would think beautiful things or beautiful feelings with enchantment, but also, the abandonment that comes with the kind of negative vocabulary inside this poem. But I'm just gonna end it there. I'm dragging on for far too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the video down. So what did you think of the inspiration for this video? I really hope it helped to give you some idea of writing your own romantic poem or something for your romance novel. There are all kinds of ways to work it, and I really do think that inspiration and community and learning from what other people like and what other people are reading and seeing just different ways of going about it, it'll help you on your writing journey. Trust me. Trust a diehard romantic writing person who is not the most articulate. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really, 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 really appreciate it. I would also appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe as well. Thank you so much if you do. You can check out my playlist, I think, here for other writing techniques and anything else that may help you on your writing journey. And you can catch my socials at the end of the video during the beautiful B-roll credit scene. I just love the song at the end, so I'm going to keep talking about it. But if there's anything else you think I should write or talk about, you can comment it below, and I'm more than happy to talk about it if you think it'll help. Other than that, I think I didn't mention statistics, so there should be... Oh, check the description box for the links to all the poems and everything I read. And I think that's it. I hope you all have a wonderfully lovely, lovely, lovely day, and I'm really looking forward to catching you in the next video where I talk about... I think it's Wednesday's video on how to spice things up in the writer's room. If you want to know what I'm talking about, subscribe to my OnlyFans. No, if you want to know what I'm talking about, subscribe and then make sure to come back for the video next week. But really, until the next video, please just make sure to stay happy, safe, healthy, and be sure to write your heart's contents. I will catch you in the next video. Bye!